Former President Trump pleaded not guilty to 37 criminal charges in a Miami federal courthouse on Tuesday. And if you missed that news, I certainly hope you enjoyed doing whatever it was you were doing, not watching that news. Trump attorney Alina Habba joins me now. She's also the spokeswoman for the former president. And to that point, Alina, thank you so much for joining us. What role will you play on former President Trump's legal team in this particular matter with the special counsel? Will you be a litigator and a spokesperson, or principally a spokesperson on behalf of the legal team?
Yeah, no, principally a spokesperson. I'm not licensed in Florida, and I'm not a criminal attorney. My focus has always been on the civil litigation for the president.
Understood. And in that regard, Alina, will there be enough legal representation for the president in this matter and any other pending matter?
Of course. I don't think America has a shortage of lawyers, that's for sure. And I think there's this misconception that has been put out there that there is a shortage of lawyers willing and wanting to work for President Trump is frankly false. I can tell you because I have personal knowledge of that. We have so much and so many inquiries and people that would love to take this case because frankly, he is the world's most famous human being, and that is just a fact. So for any attorney to get the privilege to work for President Trump is, catapults your career and is frankly an honor.
So no shortage, no inability to fill the slots necessary for a fulsome defense of the former president. Okay, is the team that will focus on this 37-count indictment fully formed as we speak?
We are almost there. We have two that have already appeared. I can't really discuss privileged information on legal strategy, but we have two incredibly well-known criminal attorneys that appeared on his behalf on yesterday at the arraignment. Chris Keyes, Todd Blanche, and we may add some additional manpower that is just fully Florida bar-based. So we'll see, but we're making those decisions and been talking to a lot of people and deciding who's going to be best for him.
Alina, there is some reporting out today that former President Trump and by extension the legal team, quote, anticipates more indictments. Is that true?
If you're watching the news like we all are and hearing the leaks through the news, of course, that's what we hear. You know, we have the DA in Georgia who's indicated that she would want nothing more than to bring charges against President Trump. And these are all, very extreme radical left DAs and AGs. And it's really political warfare, not lawfare. And it's sad. There's really not supposed to be a place for it. But if you look at the timing, if you look at the movement, it's very clear what's going on. So, yeah, of course, we expect it. He's the leading candidate for the party. So they're coming after him hard.
So let's talk about the case that the president pled not guilty to yesterday. As you understand it, and as the strategy is currently developing, will there be a move to summarily dismiss the charges?
For sure. I'm sure there will be.
And that will be at the beginning of the proceedings.
I'm going to let them decide. That's a criminal attorney decision, and the team on the case need to decide what they want to do, whether they want to see some discovery, whether they want to go through a little bit and then decide. It has to have teeth, obviously. So I think we frankly already have enough teeth just from what we've gotten through leaks and reports and the misconduct that we heard with one of the prosecutors discussing something with a witness's attorney and a judgeship. That in itself is misconduct. So let's, I'm not going to get into anything that's privileged, of course, but I think you can bet your hat on it that we'll be looking to dismiss this entirely.
Right. And if this goes forward and the prosecution presents its case, you have among the many options available to the defense team a Rule 29 motion to dismiss then. Is that something that the team is looking at?
Right. I'm not going to discuss our strategy in detail, but they're talking about all options.
I'm correct that that is an option.
Of course, a dismissal option is an option. Like I said, I'm not a criminal attorney, so when to do it and what they want to do is up to them.
Will the team seek to suppress the notes and recordings of Evan Corcoran?
I'm sure, again, that's going to be something that they're going to decide at the time. I think we all followed that, to seal, and I can speak generally, right?
Hmm.
I'm an attorney-client privilege for anybody, for you, for me, to have an attorney-client privilege broken and ordered by a judge is incredibly intrusive. And that bar to get that kind of privilege unraveled is very frightening. And I think it was inappropriate, frankly. I think that there has to be, for the American people, for anybody in this country, the right to seek counsel, the right to speak to counsel, and the right to believe that your conversations with your attorneys are privileged, especially when there was no crime. So I'm sure that that will be addressed. I do not doubt that.
Is there any belief within the legal team that anything that has been presented publicly in the indictment was manipulated or planted in terms of evidence or portrayals of such evidence?
Yeah, I won't, again, say what the legal team discusses. That's obviously privileged, like we just discussed. I can tell you as
Well, the former
an
president
American,
has in
it
various
frightens
ways on
me.
social media and elsewhere suggested that that's possibly true, or he believes it to be true.
Right. As I was just about to say before you interrupted me, that is something that I know has been put out there and is something that we need to see if it happened. You have to remember, when the raid happened, there were no attorneys allowed to be in the space. They were told to leave. So that happened. They actually didn't even want cameras on. They wanted them turned off. So that was another thing that happened. And as we unravel, and I just want to say this because a lot of your questions seem to be ones that go to privilege, and I'm sorry that I won't break that privilege, but as this unravels, I just think it's important for the American people to understand something. An indictment is one-sided.
Mhm.
An indictment is cherry-picked and put and pieced together by the witnesses they selected. And we were not there. We were not in the grand jury. We do not know what they did and didn't do. So all of that, we now get the opportunity to see and put on our defense. That's how this works.
And in that process of seeking discovery, that and other things you will try to discern. Is that correct?
Of course, of course. I mean, you can't try a case, any case, criminal or civil, without discovery. We need to see what happened. We need to get depositions. We need our turn to take them in and ask questions. So, yeah, of course, that would be part of any case.
Alina Habba, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.